Hello and welcome to another episode of Moonee Valley Voices, where today we have our first ever repeat guest as we welcome back Steve and Simone from the Silent Sight Foundation. Welcome, Steve, and obviously a big honour for you to be the first one to be on this podcast twice.
I wouldn't have expected any less, mate, that I was the first one back here, invited back. So I look forward to number 3, mate. So let's see what number 3 is going to be all about. Let's
get through number 2 first. But, mate, hectic few months since we last caught up. And, today I thought would be a good opportunity to catch up and talk a little bit about the Silent Sight Street Classica, which we have coming up just around the corner on Puckle Street. First of all, just congratulations on even getting all the permits and all that sort of stuff sorted to even make an event like that possible. But for those who maybe don't know about the event and what it's for, can you just give us a little bit of a roundup on what we're doing and when it is?
Yeah, beautiful. So for those who don't know much about the Silent Sight Foundation, what we're about and so forth, very, very quick 30 seconds. My 2 boys, Francesco and Vincenzo, 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, or soon to be 3, 1.5. They were born with Usher Syndrome, which for them means they were born completely deaf, born with no sense of balance, and around primary school age will start to lose their vision, ultimately go completely blind. So we can deal with the hearing loss with cochlear implants. We deal with the balance issues through physiotherapy. There's unfortunately no treatments or cures for the blindness. And that's, the goals and objectives of the Silent Sight Foundation is to, find those treatments and cures for the blindness. So as part of that, it's one thing to raise funds. It's hard to do that without any awareness. Mm-hmm. So when we started the foundation, we thought, all right, what are some of the activities that we can do? One of them was the Vision Impossible Challenge that some of your viewers or listeners might be familiar with. And the other one was, what can we do to sort of do something like really big, really get people sort of talking, get them sort of interested was one thing. And then the other thing was, how do we get certain people at certain levels who can actually have the ability to sort of influence certain decisions and impact at a government level, right? We were very lucky that our local member here, Danny Pearson, medical research is actually within his portfolio. So he's the state minister for finance and for jobs and innovation, and medical research falls within that innovation space. Mm-hmm. And his office is on Shooter Street, just off Puckle Street. Being an Essendon local myself, I was sort of like, all right, we've got to do something in Moonee Ponds, Puckle Street. What are we going to do? And, it actually all started with a family friend of mine who's part of the Alpha Club. Mm-hmm. And he basically said, Steve, every now and then the club goes for a drive, and, on the drive they might raise a couple of $100. Would you want to be involved, have Silent Sight involved? Something like that. Okay, yeah, I'd love that. But let me think about what we could do there. And so where we've ended up is basically shutting down half of Puckle Street from Pratt to the train station, all of Shooter Street, all the Shooter Street car park, and it'll be a mix of prestige car show, sort of street family festival vibe and atmosphere, kids rides, entertainment, face painting, animal farm, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a great day.
Yeah, and 21st of September?
21st September, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There'll be special guest appearances throughout the day. Not too sure when this one is going to air. Yep. So we'll keep that under wraps for now. But check out the Silent Sight Facebook pages for those announcements. We've already got Mark Winterbottom announced for the day, but there's one more surprise special guest that's going to be there as well. So yeah.
Yep, awesome. I mean, I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes into convincing the traders on Puckle Street to allow, half of it effectively to be shut down. Just from a logistics point of view, can you talk us through the sort of efforts that went into making that happen?
Yeah, so I knew that the first thing I had to do was to get the traders on side. Mm-hmm. And so the first thing I did was actually go to the Moonee Ponds Trade Association website, and there's a lot of information publicly available there. One of the things that's on their website is actually their marketing plan, sort of year on year and for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. So to be honest, it all sort of started there. So trying to understand, how they wanted the entire precinct to be perceived, what image they were trying to build, where they wanted to be in the next couple of years and so forth, what some of their sort of opportunities were and what some of the sort of, I guess, weaknesses of the area was. And one of them that sort of stood out was that I think, if you ask a lot of people, maybe, the generation prior to us, like our parents, would say, back in the day, Puckle Street Moonee Ponds used to be the place to be in terms of like all your shopping and so forth,
Yep,
right?
yep.
But then I think over the past maybe 30 years, I think one between High Point coming around and getting even bigger and bigger over the years. And I think with a lot of this online shopping, the sort of precinct, not just the street, but that sort of precinct is sort of, no, I don't want to say like, receded a little bit, but maybe doesn't have that same sort of level of sort of prestige maybe that it once had. And so I looked at that, I'm like, okay, well, what's maybe something that we can do to maybe bring that back to the area?
Yeah.
And that was sort of the pitch that we went with. And I sort of felt that, I didn't have the opportunity to speak to the Trades Association, their whole committee, but it was through their marketing manager. And I felt that, if I could get the marketing manager on board with what we were looking to do, then that will maybe make the case a little bit easier. She was absolutely fantastic, open to the idea. She was then able to work with the Trades Association to get them on board, and it all sort of snowballed from there. There's obviously a million and one things in between, but that's how it all sort of started at that level, at that stage.
Yeah, awesome. And like I've sort of half been on the journey with you with respect to documenting, some of the partners that have come on board and, just seeing all of this slowly come together. And as we get closer and closer, it's really shaping up to be an incredibly exciting event. And, you've been able to cultivate support from some really great like auto partners who are going to be bringing some amazing machines down and that sort of thing. Can you talk to, I guess, some of the partners that have backed this and really helped to sort of bring it to life and get it in front of more people?
Yeah, so I'll say on the automotive side, because I'm not actually a big car person. I'm not sort of that involved with car communities, car clubs. I could definitely appreciate a nice car, that's for sure. But, cars and the ins and outs of them definitely aren't my thing. So massive shout out to the guys at Benzina Stables over in Preston, Cavallo Prestige down in Port Melbourne there now, and then Show Cars Melbourne, who are helping with some of the logistics and sourcing some cars as well. So between the three of those guys, we're going to have some very, very special vehicles on the day. Like I said, having not been involved in that community at all, having not known these people at all, and this is actually from a lot of our supporters, not just for this event, for these sponsors, but for all of our donors. Majority of the people that are getting behind us, people that I didn't know from prior to starting the Silent Sight Foundation. Yeah. So to have these guys jump on board is absolutely great. You want to make sure on the car side at least come down and check out what they're going to be bringing down. It's going to be some pretty special stuff. So yeah.
And how much do you think, there was a bit of legwork also that went into like sort of local community with the sports clubs, with the Vision Impossible sort of challenge. And I guess for those who haven't seen those videos, you should definitely go and check them out on the Silent Sight Foundation. I think some of the local clubs that got involved were East Keilor Footy Club, St Bernard's Old Boys, Avondale were massive supporters. Essendon Royals got involved as well. How much do you think that sort of local grassroots awareness has sort of contributed to, being able to make Silent Sight Street Classica what it's sort of looking like it's going to be?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, with the whole thing with the Vision Impossible was we wanted to do something that was fun yet impactful to raise, at the bare minimum was at least raise awareness of Usher Syndrome and Silent Sight Foundation. And we wanted to use that sort of baseline awareness as a platform for Street Classica is what the plan was, right? You mentioned Avondale. Those guys, honestly, mate, they actually just took that support to a whole nother level. I went and met the president there, I think back in maybe April, May, something like that. And all I was asking for was maybe like 15 minutes either before or after training just to shoot a video. Long story short, next thing you know, they're throwing a massive sort of match day event on their largest match day of the season against Heidelberg a couple of weeks ago. In our honour, they got right behind us and promoted us and set us up with some contacts to support with the event as well. So, and that's a perfect sort of example for not just our charity, but sort of anyone out there with whatever you're doing with this charity or business or whatever. If you just sort of get your message out there, you spread the word, you never know who it's actually going to resonate with. Obviously with Avondale, they took that to another level. But then, there's a few other sort of businesses as well. So Margin Finance, mortgage broker here in Moonee Ponds, Damien Medici, Absolute Gun, John Casher over at Thrive and Wealth, another business ambassador again behind us. Dealer Finance Group. They were in Killer Road Ninja. They recently moved,
Yep.
but Steph Ferreri and the team there, absolutely great. There's a few more Contacts Optica, TPS that do the sort of touch, what's it called, tactile sort of guidelines on the
Yep.
grounds and all that sort of stuff. All getting behind us, all great businesses, and obviously the Trade Association and Council as well for getting behind it. So.
Yeah, awesome. And talk us through a little bit more around the activations. We've mentioned Frosty, Mark Winterbottom's going to be there as well.
Yep.
Great guy. We got to catch up and shoot
Yep.
some content with him. Obviously, he's just released a book as well, and I think that will form part of the activations on the day.
Yeah, correct. So a few of the activations, we'll start off with the run sheet at the moment is probably around 11:15. Special guest number 2, who hasn't been announced yet, he'll be making his appearance at around maybe 11:15, so make sure you're down for that. Mark Winterbottom, he's going to be making his appearance at around 12. So on the day, he'll be signing copies of his book. They'll be available for sale at the Silent Site Marquee and at Collins Booksellers as well. And so any purchase of Mark Winterbottom's autobiography, Frosty, on the day, a portion of those sales will be going to the Silent Site Foundation. Waiting to confirm, but actually we're probably going to actually get Melbourne City's A-League Championship trophy, make an appearance later in the afternoon as well, maybe around 1:32-ish.
Nice.
And then, for the for the kids, we've got the fire truck, police car, face painting, arts and craft, animal farm, and merry-go-round and pirate ship. And for the grown-ups, you got some pretty nice cars and, of course, all the local sort of shopping and hospitality options there as well. So
Perfect. So it's going to be a super fun day, but obviously it is all in the name of a great cause. So a big part of the day is obviously raising awareness around Usher Syndrome, but also there's an opportunity to raise some funds as well. And there's going to be a big raffle. Why don't you talk us through some of the prizes on offer and how to get involved from that point of view?
That's right. Sorry, just on what we're going to do on the day, because I know that a lot of these messages can get lost in these big events.
Yeah.
So front and center, we're actually going to come down to the Silent Site sort of marquee and zone there. We're going to be doing the Vision Impossible Challenge, like I said, with maybe 1 or 2 of their special guests. So come down and be a part of that. The event's free to the public, so we want to make it open, accessible to everyone. But all we're encouraging is a $10 raffle ticket purchase, all digital, all online. If we need to do it manual, we can do that. Same deal, just come down to the marquee. $20,000 in prizes. We've got a $10,000 flight voucher, so if you want to take that, well deserved. I know you need a holiday, mate. So
big time.
So $10,000 flight voucher, $5,000 home TV tech upgrade, $2,500 resort voucher. We've got a $1,000 barbecue, Weber barbecue pack. Summer's just around the corner. $500 online shopping voucher. So a little bit of something for everyone there. So $10, silentsite.org. You can buy your raffle tickets through the links there.
Yep.
We'd love to try and through the raffle ticket sales, if we can sort of hit 100,000, would be absolutely fantastic. So we'd love to see it for sure.
Yeah, and I know I'd encourage everyone to go and watch our sort of first episode to sort of, I guess, understand maybe a bit more around the funding piece and what we're actually trying to resource here with the funding aspect of what we're doing. But having said that, there have been actually some like sort of scientific wins since we last caught up.
Yep.
That sort of again showcase what you've always been saying is that the sort of the science is there, but the funding is not.
Exactly.
So just to sort of, I guess, drive home how important every dollar is in this sort of race against time, not just for your boys, but all the kids who suffer from Usher Syndrome. What sort of developments have there been since we last caught up?
Yeah, and I'll sort of, because I think I mentioned this on the first pod, I'll say it again, there's a lot of work that also goes into this charity. There's a lot that we ask of volunteers and donors to get behind us. We don't ask for it lightly, and we don't ask for it on some, some hopeful wish that's just too far-fetched that may not become reality. We do it because we know that there's a good chance that something can come from this, and we're starting to see that with some of the developments that are happening here and overseas as well. So probably 2 of the big ones is at the moment there's already one treatment that's in stage 3 human trials that would look to slow down the vision loss. So not necessarily stop it or reverse it, or at least slow it down to sort of buy us that little bit more time for those more permanent treatments and cures. And one of them that we're monitoring very closely out in Europe, out in Italy, is that's in very early stages of human trials, but they're 12 months into that trial. And the first patient they dosed with that particular treatment, who was just under 40, I think it was maybe 38, 39 years old, I think. So he was pretty late stage in terms of his blindness. And was showing really good signs of actually restoring the eyesight. And so, like you said before, we say that the science is there, but the funding is not. There is no better time in history than right now to be getting behind and doing something like this. It is a window of opportunity that we have to make a real difference. Like you said, not just in our boys, Francesco and Vincenzo's lives, but so many other kids and people that are impacted by Usher Syndrome. It's the opportunity is there, the moment is there. We just need to seize it, and we can seize it with everyone's help.
Perfect. And I know obviously the fundraising side of things is super important, but events like Street Classica also need a lot of manpower and volunteers. And I've seen on the socials today there's been a bit of a call out for volunteers. So maybe we'll use this opportunity to just, I guess, sort of call out the sort of volunteers you're after and what sort of things that they might be doing on the day.
Done. So we're keeping it pretty simple, to be honest. So the volunteers that we're going to need on the day are people, as attendees come into the closed off area, sort of, welcoming the attendees, brief sort of spiel on, hey, we're here, for Science Sight Foundation for these two boys, buy yourself a raffle ticket. So that'll be at the points of entry. We expect there's going to be a fair few kids and families there. So we need some people helping out, managing the lines and queues to some of the kids' activities and attractions there. We'll need some people as well. There'll obviously be, obviously the event is on, but there's a whole heap of other, shops and whatnot around the Moonee Ponds precinct. So we'd like to have actually a few people placed in and around different areas of Moonee Ponds to encourage them, one, to come down and check out the event, but two, to also drive home those raffle ticket sales.
Yep.
Even the week prior. So this coming Saturday, the 13th of September, so the week before the event, we're probably going to be out there handing out a couple of flyers as well, just to do that last awareness push before the event. So if there's anyone that's available for that, would be absolutely fantastic. So you can send an email or sort of hit us up on a DM via Instagram or Facebook, or send an email to Stephen@silentsight.org, Stephen with a PH, at silentsight.org, to register your interest, and we'll get you sorted.
Well, Steve, before we wrap up, let's get a little bit of an update on the boys. I've had the chance to see them in action a few times with some of the guys like Damien at Margin and John at with Thriving Wealth. Yeah. They're great kids. How are they going? How are you enjoying fatherhood through all this?
They're doing fantastic. Francesco just got accepted into kindergarten, so we look forward to that next year. A little bit nervous, obviously, considering everything that he's going through, but we're sure he's going to be fine. But mate, Francesco, he's doing little kickers on Saturday mornings. He loves his soccer. He's talking nonstop, talking back sometimes, so we'll have to, do something about that. But he's absolutely awesome. Vincenzo, mate, he's taking his first steps now. So, and again, with the balance issues, that's a huge, huge thing for these boys. And to see Vincenzo sort of take his first steps, there's a lot of work that my wife Steph does that no one would ever see in terms of a lot of physiotherapy work and play, physiotherapy focus play that she does with the boys. And, to see that sort of translated in these first steps and those first words as well is really, really special. So they're doing great. They're going to be down there on the day, running amok. So, feel free to come down and get to meet the boys as well. I'm sure they'll absolutely love it. So
Moonee Valley's youngest celebrities. Yeah. So we'd love to see it. All right, well, Steve, thanks so much for dropping in and updating us on all the great things that are happening. Well done on all the amazing work you're doing. Can't wait to see you at Silent Sight Street Classica.
It's going to be great. Catch you there.